Hello to all my friends at the University of Minnesota Morris. I think you all know I would much rather be there with you in person, but there's just a few things going on and I couldn't make it, so I'm just honored to get to talk with you via video. As some of you may know, I had a great visit to Morris last November on Veterans Day. I had a great discussion with a number of students and faculty, and I was really impressed by all the very detailed and probing questions from the students, and I look forward to coming back again. And actually, I also had your Chancellor, Chancellor Johnson, out to Washington to testify at a committee hearing on the leading role that U.S. colleges and universities are taking to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and also to focus on our own homegrown energy. At the hearing, Chancellor Johnson discussed the many innovative ways that University of Minnesota Morris students, faculty, and your surrounding community have embraced your commitment to using alternative and renewable energy sources to reduce our carbon footprint. But more than that, when you think about the security issues, what we see going on in the Mideast, the importance of our own country's security in having our own energy sources, as well as the clear economics of this for anyone that goes and pays out money at a gas station or looks at your electricity bill. We want to be dependent on our own energy, not someone else's. The latest of your initiatives, of course, is the solar thermal system that is the centerpiece of today's celebration. The solar thermal system is the biggest flat panel installation in Stevens County, made up of 32 panels by Solar Skies, the renewable energy company that's located in Alexandria. And in an act of real ingenuity, you're using it to heat the pool, I understand, at the regional fitness center used by students and residents in the community. So on a particularly sunny day, I like to think of this, you can take a dip in the pool to cool off, and the pool will be powered by the very sun that you're trying to avoid. The system aims to save 374 tons of carbon dioxide, bringing your school closer to your goal of being wholesale carbon neutral. Energy efficient improvements like these, which reduce both the long-term energy costs and environmental impacts, are exactly the kind of projects we should be replicating across Minnesota and across the country. I know that's why you've gathered here today to kick off Thermal Energy Awareness Day, to showcase Morris's leadership in this area and to highlight the transformative power of energy investments. We're in the midst of what will be this generation's version of the space race, but this time it's an energy race. And the finish line won't be Neil Armstrong placing that American flag on the moon. Instead, it'll be whether or not we have an electric car battery factory in Alexandria instead of in Seoul, South Korea, or whether we have a wind turbine manufacturing plant in Benson, Minnesota, instead of Hamburg, Germany. We are ahead of the game. We have standards in place in our state to incentivize energy efficiency improvements and the development of new energy technologies. In the Senate, I'm working to ensure that policies like we have in Minnesota with our renewable electricity standard, one of the most aggressive in the country, a renewable electricity standard that you all know was supported on a bipartisan basis by Democrats and Republicans, signed into law by a Republican governor. Well, my bill, the Securing America's Future on Energy and Sustainable Technology Act, actually creates national standards that are similar to the ones we have in Minnesota for energy efficiency and renewable energy. These standards would not only result in energy savings and more new energy production, but they would also help to create jobs. We've already seen that happen in Minnesota. I think of places like Sabika, where a small telephone company was having trouble with some of their customers who would lose their power because they were in such remote locations. So they decided to start a pilot project to get some of their services powered by wind turbine and solar panels as backups. So they sold it to a bunch of people, and then this guy came to them and he said, you know what, I like this, I got it, but I want to do my whole house in solar panels. And they said, well, sir, you know, it'll take about 10 years before you can get your whole return on investment. You will, but we want you to know how long it'll take. And they said, sir, do you mind us asking how old you are? And he says, yep, I'm 85 years old, but I don't care, I want to go green. You also think of places like Morris, with all of your wind, your biomass, your solar energy projects. In another month, you're going to be home to yet another wind turbine. So thank you for all that you do. By building on your imagination and your determination, we're going to win this energy race. I've never been so proud of that day your chancellor testified in front of the environmental committee. There she was with, the head of Yale and the head of, I don't know, all these other colleges, and she was a star. She had a story to tell that was based in actual energy savings, based in actual good work that all of you have done together. So keep it up and have a great celebration today.